Greetings, Moody Theological Seminary Greek geeks, and welcome to week 2 of NT 6652, Greek Syntax and Exegetical Method for the 7 weeks of May-June of 2017. Charis Humin Kairene, grace to you and peace. And I hope this week you're doing well in your studies. Your motivational memo this week comes from Jim Elliot, the martyred Christian missionary in Central South America. Trust that if someone of his stature was committed to the biblical languages and learning them, you will be too. So give some thought to that word from Jim Elliot. And I trust that all the announcements from this first week have not been too overwhelming. I know there's been a lot, but I wanted to give you all the benefit I could from my colleague Ryan's experience of teaching this course as we launch in it together. I'm not sure we'll see that much each week. I rather doubt it, but we'll see what week 2 holds. Meanwhile, for your week 2, we're studying the dative and accusative cases, sentence diagramming, and structural layout. Be sure to go to the week 2 link and work through that as you do your work, but I give you the summary of things here in the weekly announcement. Our objectives this week are for you to recognize the most important categories of the dative and accusative cases for exegesis. We want you to draw a sentence diagram and structural layout by using Logos Bible software. And we want you to discuss the grammar and syntax of Galatians 6, 9-17, Philippians 1, 9-13, and be able to read the verses in Greek. Your reading this week includes from Wallace's Greek Grammar Beyond the Basics, pages 137 to 175, and pages 176 to 205. And pay special attention to those sections 22 and 20 in those. In Block and Fanning, Interpreting the New Testament this week, you want to read chapter 4. In Wallace and Edwards' New Testament Syntax, the workbook, you're working in chapters 3 and 4. Pages 40 through 42 and pages 50 through 51. And then you're going to begin reading this week Campbell's book, Basics of Verbal Aspect in Biblical Greek, chapters 1 and 2. Your first assignment this week is a sentence diagram and structural layout. You're going to create a sentence diagram and structural layout of 1 Thessalonians 4, 7, and 8 using the functionality of Logos Bible software. So be sure to access the links here and do a good job on your work. In your workbook, you're going to work on exegetical questions found in chapter 3, verses 18 through 29, and chapter 4, questions 22 through 28. Again, one page, single-spaced. Use numbering that's there in the chapter for the questions, but only give me the answers to your questions. You don't need to copy the questions in, just your answers, but using the enumeration that corresponds with what's in the workbook. For your first discussion, you're going to translate the passages here and include key category use, etc., of at least one application to the church. And be sure to pay attention to the word requirements here in doing your post. And then once you complete the post, you need to respond to at least one peer. And in that response, remember the threefold approach to responses. I'm looking for compliments, comments on good work the peer has done, suggestions for how constructive suggestions, how they might strengthen their post, and then leave them on a good open-ended related question to their post. Again, this should all be related to the grammar, syntax, and exegesis of the passage. For discussion number 2, from reading these 2 passages in Greek, record a video of yourself reading the Greek text and post that as well. Then what follows here, of course, is simply the normal reminder of what you should be seeing each week, a reminder to carry out your discussion boards as we've indicated, and there's the threefold response items listed there for you, and a reminder of the late policy, which hopefully you'll be able to avoid each week. Remember, some of your work is due by Saturday morning, other things are due by Monday night, and you want to get everything in accordingly. If you need to contact me, all my contact information is here, so feel free to Avail yourself of any of that. I will be posting my escapades at Tel Gezer in Israel on my Facebook pages, I hope, so you can keep up with those there if you like. Well, that's pretty much it for week 2. Again, I trust you were not overwhelmed by all the extra material that my colleague Ryan has provided us. And again, though I'm giving you some of this material, you should not be contacting him with questions. You should only be contacting myself. So please take close note of that. Well, I trust that does us for week 2. Looking forward to looking over your week 1 work this week and seeing how we interact as we move forward. God bless.